Jesse, in this heat, everyone's bits are juicy.
Oh, God.
Politics is boring, juicy bits.
Canadian politics is boring, juicy bits.
Yeah, it's been a rough number of days. It's been a really rough number of days. I was at home. My roommate, it's like, yeah, it's BTSL. I'm like, no, BSTL. BSTL. I'm like, what the fuck is BSTL? It's like ball sticks to leg. I'm like, oh, God, man, that's fucking stop.
Half of the population instantly relate. So, good.
Welcome to Canadian Politics is Boring. These are juicy bits. If you're new, juicy bits are just basically Reese telling me about something that's brand new, that's kind of current
Yay.
and funky and hip. I'm Jesse. This is Reese. Reese is a Welsh immigrant who teaches me, an apathetic Canadian who genuinely doesn't give a shit about Canadian politics. And he teaches me about my own country's political system and history.
And this is Juicy Bit.
I've been forced into this for 3 fucking years. I've learned shit against my will, and for some reason, I keep doing this. So... Hi.
And these are our juicy bits, which are like smaller reacting to news clips. Before we get into this juicy bit, my kids have taken up the insult to each other. They say "yo mama" all the time to each other.
Yo mama?
Yeah.
Oh, like your mom jokes?
Yeah,
sort of
they just
thing?
keep doing that all the time to each other. And I'm like,
your mama, not yo mama.
They say "yo mama," but they mean "your mama."
What? Oh, is it like a Welsh thing?
No, they're Canadians through and through, my children now. They don't even remember Wales. They're the before times. They remember the Shire.
Probably for the best.
They're so far into Mordor, they've forgotten the Shire. But I say to them, you're talking about, that's your brother. When you insult your brother's mother, you're insulting your own mother.
That's very funny.
Well, they don't
That's
get it.
funny.
They still they don't know what it means. They just keep using it.
For years, I would reference my mother, like, "Hey, my mother said this," and I would say that to my brother, and he would often correct me. He's like, "Our mother, Jesse. It's our mother."
My mother said that. It's like, no. He's like, does he know something I don't? Like, so Jesse, this is a development from Vancouver. So
Okay.
apparently, have you ever heard of the mosquito alarm?
Sounds kind of familiar, honestly.
So they used to do this in Wales outside convenience stores where kids would hang out, like corner shops, places where kids would hang out in gangs and would like smash stuff. And gangs of kids.
Oh.
Like, yeah. I used to do when I was like 13, 14. There was nothing to do. And we just congregate in big gangs, throw bottles at police cars, that kind of stuff. And like,
All right.
and they invented this thing called the mosquito, and it's a really high-pitched frequency they blast out of speakers. And
Oh, yes.
you can
where
only
it's-
hear it
only
if you're
youth
young.
can, like under 30 or something like that, can hear it, and then above
Yeah.
30, give or take a few years, you can't hear it at all. Yeah, I can't hear it.
And it started
Most of the people I know can't hear it.
It started this big like debate about public spaces going, well, so you have to be old in order to be able to enjoy public spaces, you know. I get it was a deterrent because, you know, kids fuck around, but it started this whole like freedom and rights
Very interesting.
conversation. Well, now I hadn't heard about it for 15 years. I thought maybe it was forgotten about, but apparently now they're starting to use it in Vancouver in the public transit stations to stop gathering of unhoused people.
You mean specifically unhoused youth,
Well,
which is
that's
horrible.
Well, that's the thing I can't work out. So a mosquito alarm was recently noticed by individuals who live and work near the busy SkyTrain in downtown Vancouver. It plays a loud, piercing, high-pitched noise to discourage unhoused people from gathering, and people around North Thornton Park, apparently.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I know.
You can't create a noise that targets only homeless people.
I know. It's like, how does the frequency just for people who've fallen on hard times? If you've got less than $5 in your bank account or no bank account, it really hurts.
This is the bank calling, Mr. Jones. I'm so sorry, but you're defaulting on your mortgage payment. Oh, my ears! Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, like it's what?
So
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
So apparently, so Press Progress, the kind of the journalistic news outlet. There's a website. TransLink, they reached out to TransLink who would have installed it, and they said to prevent gatherings. TransLink has received dozens of reports of disorderly conduct and criminal activity at Main Street Science World Skytrain over recent months. And to address it and to prevent gatherings, we've tested a device which emits a high-frequency noise to determine its effectiveness. So it's not switched on, but the idea is if a gang of people hang up there, someone's there with a button, and they're just going to hold it.
Oh, it's not specific to youth. It's just an annoying fucking sound for everybody.
I think it's horrible for everyone. So they just hold it. They go, "Fuck them. Are they gone yet?" And then they lift their finger off, and they're gone.
You know, it's funny. I was I'm here visiting a friend in Montreal, and there was an art sort of expose, like an art installation at my friend Brendan's, sort of not just in his apartment, but the entire apartment complex was used. Like you could go into. I'm going somewhere with this that has to do with what you're talking about.
Okay.
And
So you just like talking about your friend Brendan.
Yeah, and like so, various apartments throughout the complex would be used for theater plays, like monologues, and you can just wander in and out. And then there's a garden, central garden in the middle, it's like the complex goes around in kind of like a circle, and in the middle is this garden complex. It's really neat. And so they were doing like music throughout the night and having like live music and performances happening there. And I guess like they got permission. They just let everyone know in advance, like this is happening sort of thing. And one of the neighbors, I guess, just wasn't fucking having it and was like, we don't know if it was on purpose or not, but it was like, it would be too coincidental if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like kind of like this insanely a loud beeping, like beep, 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 was just happening specifically throughout musical productions, right? And to the point where like, okay, this has got to be on purpose from one of these fuckers who just doesn't like people having fun or enjoying music. Or they just, I don't know.
I don't know how I'd feel though if I was not interested in that and suddenly it was happening around me and I had no choice.
That's fair. I did think about that. Yeah, like if like they let everyone in the building know this is happening, it's like, what if I don't want this to happen in my building? I've got to wake up early.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so they just kind of blasted an alarm out of the window whenever someone was playing music, as if that would, thinking this would make everybody go home. And instead, what happened is like the 30 or so people in the courtyard just started yelling beep back at them, like beep, 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 like 30 people screaming the word beep, like just for like a minute. It was really funny. So as far as loud beeping noises go, like I think at some point the musicians tried to like utilize the melody of the beat, like the what's the word for it? The beat of the beat sort of thing, to like use it as a metronome to like incorporate it in their songs.
Are you suggesting that homeless people should emit a high pitched frequency back at train stations?
I am now. Yeah, that's exactly the whole point of the story.
What a great protest.
Yes, exactly.
If all of the unhoused people in Vancouver, every time that alarm is used, they all agree to hum the same tone. So everyone has to have it. Anyway, so apparently it was switched on. Somebody saw it switched on at 4:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, and apparently it was a high-pitched pulsing, repeating tone that rose in volume and intensity as I approached the box that appeared to match the description of a mosquito alarm. It was very uncomfortable to be around. Despite that, a few people were still dealing with the awful noise and gathering in the area because they had nowhere else to go. It was clearly audible from across Thornton Park on the north side, but got louder as we walked across the park towards the SkyTrain station. So it's like, well, they have nowhere else to go. Let's make their lives even harder.
Right? I mean, this is the age-old problem with homeless, which is you can't just sweep it under the fucking rug.
No, you can't just move them on.
It doesn't work. It just, clearly, it's not like we have to do this giant economic study on what does it work or not? Like, no, it doesn't. They still exist. They're just going. You know what I mean? Like it's a systemic problem. You've got to fight homelessness at the core, not just like I don't like them here. Let's move them somewhere else, and that'll be somebody else's problem. It's dumb. Even if it's effective, it's dumb.
But also, it's kind of, I don't like what it implies about like public space. It implies that public space is only for certain people, and only certain people are supposed to enjoy that public space because, number one,
they would. Are we talking like people setting up camp and living in like
No,
the,
I just said
the
they were
hallways
just,
of these?
No, they were just congregating there, like hanging out there.
Oh yeah, no, that's yeah.
Like, yeah, if you're blocking like people using the train, that's different. Like there's safety and actually, people not being able to use the train station. But the idea that public space is only for people who are, of a certain socio-economic background or band.
Right.
Yeah,
of course.
But also the thing that pisses me off as well is that all of those homeless people, like any one of us could end up like that, in that position one day. People always seem to think that it doesn't happen, but it happens all the time. People get ill, people have breakdowns, people lose their job, or bad investments, and like some people have substance abuse issues. Anyone can fall on hard times, and like it always makes me like.
And it's going to happen to all of us when the apocalypse happens.
Exactly.
Like we're all going to be homeless during the apocalypse. What is your plan?
What's your plan? There's more mosquitoes.
What?
I don't know. That's what it's called. It's called the mosquito.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see where you're going with that, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the thing is it is a real like human rights thing going on, where it's like, but also I imagine that like you said, it's not just young people. The frequency doesn't care how old you are or your background. So you're making it unpleasant for everyone.
Yeah, I guess like I think their plan is like if it's this underground stations like subway stations, you just have to deal with an unpleasant noise from point A to point B while you get on the train. But people who want to hang around they're hoping won't. It sounds like, but it's.
Do you know what we should get? We should if anyone lives in Vancouver and works with homeless people, we should supply them with earplugs. Just ship them over.
Oh, that's good.
So they just
noise canceling earbuds.
Noise canceling headphones. Like, and it just look like everyone's having a silent disco. It'd be fine. So.
If you, dear listener, if you're living in Canada and you have some local sort of political news that you'd like us to cover that's recent, email us at CanadianPoliticsIsBoring@gmail.com and maybe we'll do a juicy bits about it if it's juicy enough.
CanadianPoliticsIsBoring@gmail.com. Hey!
Canadian politics is boring, juicy bits.
Canadian politics is boring, juicy bits.
Oh, one other thing real quick that we used to do with these juicy bits, we haven't done juicy bits in a little while. If you have a hot take on today's topic, leave us a SpeakPipe. SpeakPipe is an anonymous voicemail. You don't have to leave your name or email or anything. You can literally do it in like 5 fucking seconds. SpeakPipe.com/Canadian Politics is Boring. There's probably a link in your podcast show notes stuff. If you just want to click it, you can send it in seconds and just tell us what you think of what we talked about. So anyway, that's it.
Thanks, everyone.
Get the fuck out of here. Bye.
Bye. I'm gonna go dry up my armpits.
Did you just say you're gonna go dry hump your armpits?
Dry out.
How the
dry
fuck?
Out.
Oh, dry out. I heard dry hump.
No.
Like that is really impressive. Jesus.
Bye.
Bye. Wow.